Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something that, let's be honest, can be really confusing and often expensive. Skincare. We're going deep into the science behind the products, trying to cut through all that marketing hype. Our goal, to help you achieve what we're calling label literacy.
Exactly. It's about moving beyond just the pretty packaging or the influencer posts. The real aim here is understanding why certain things work, how formulations actually interact with your skin barrier, and, maybe most importantly, how clear labeling can empower you to make smarter choices.
Okay, so before we get into the nitty-gritty of cleansers and serums, what are the really big trends shaping this whole industry in 2025? What's driving things?
Well, the guide we looked at highlights four huge trends, and they're all kind of linked. First, there's the continuing focus on clean beauty. It's a complicated area, often not clearly regulated, but wow, does it drive consumer interest?
Yeah, you see clean everywhere. What else?
Second, sustainability. This isn't just a buzzword anymore. People expect recyclable packaging, refillable options, less plastic overall. It's becoming table stakes.
Makes sense. And the other two?
Third is personalization. This is where technology really comes into play. Think AI skin analysis, maybe at-home tests, regimens tailored specifically to you. People want solutions just for them.
Right. Very bespoke.
And fourth, and this is crucial, is the push for regulatory clarity. You've got bodies like the FDA in the US, regulators in the EU and UK. They're all getting stricter about what brands can claim and demanding real data to back it up.
Okay, let's build from the ground up. Starting with the basics. Cleansers. Standard advice is use them once or twice a day, but what's a key formulation tip, something we users should maybe be aware of too?
It really comes down to pH balance. This is absolutely vital for your skin's health in the long run.
pH balance, okay.
Yeah, cleansers, especially some foaming ones, can leave behind what's called residual alkalinity. Your skin naturally has this slightly acidic state, right? Around pH 4.5 to 5.5. That's the acid mantle.
The acid mantle. I've heard that term. Why is it so important?
It's basically your skin's first line of defense. It keeps moisture in and helps keep harmful bacteria out. If your cleanser is too alkaline, say pH 8 or 9, it strips that protective layer away.
Ah, okay.
And if you do that constantly, day after day, you weaken the skin barrier. That can lead to things like inflammation, dryness, even make conditions like eczema or acne worse.
So that squeaky clean feeling might actually be bad news for my barrier.
It often is, yeah. The key takeaway, especially from a formulation perspective, is ensuring cleansers are pH compatible with leave-on products, which should respect that natural acidity.
Got it. Okay, so after cleansing, we obviously need hydration. Let's talk moisturizers.
Right. And moisturizers are often workhorses. They replenish lipids, add humectants, but they're also great vehicles for, well, synergy.
Synergy? Like what?
Yeah. Like pairing hydration with SPF for daytime use. From a product development standpoint, combining these makes sense. It reduces steps for the user, which means they're more likely to actually use it consistently. Better compliance, better protection.
Streamlining the routine. Okay, but then we have serums. Are they really necessary? Can't I just get my actives like vitamin C in my moisturizer?
That's a really common question, and it gets to the heart of formulation strategy. Serums are specifically engineered, they're designed to deliver high concentrations of active ingredients, antioxidants, retinoids, powerful exfoliants in very lightweight, often water-based formulas.
So they sink in better.
Exactly. That light texture maximizes penetration, getting those actives deeper into the epidermis before you apply a heavier moisturizer, which might then seal everything in. Serums are like the targeted treatment step.
Okay, that makes sense. So if someone's just starting out, maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed, what's a good, safe starting point?
The guide suggests keeping it simple initially. Focus on maybe just 2 core steps. A gentle hydrating serum, nothing too harsh, and a reliable sunscreen. Always sunscreen.
Non-negotiable sunscreen.
Absolutely. Once your skin is comfortable with that baseline, then you can slowly introduce stronger actives, maybe one at a time, see how your skin tolerates it. And, this ties back directly to what we mentioned earlier about stability. Packaging isn't just about looking good on the shelf.
Right, you mentioned airless pumps, opaque bottles.
Yes, they're functional necessities. Think about powerful ingredients like retinoids or pure vitamin C, even some natural oils. They are incredibly sensitive.
Sensitive to what?
Light and air. They degrade quickly when exposed. It's called photodegradation and oxidation.
Yeah.
So if your fancy serum comes in a clear jar you dip your fingers into, it's probably losing potency pretty fast. Those airless pumps and dark glass bottles are crucial stability measures. They protect the investment you made in that active ingredient.
All right, let's get into the stars of the show, the active ingredients, the ones that promise, real results. Let's start with a big one, vitamin C and other antioxidants.
Vitamin C is definitely a cornerstone. Great for brightening, fighting free radical damage from UV and pollution, and it even helps support collagen production. But when you look at a label, concentration matters. For the pure form, L-ascorbic acid, you typically see ranges from, say, 8% up to 20%. The catch: L-ascorbic acid is notoriously unstable.
Okay, unstable how? And how do I know if I have the unstable kind?
It's very sensitive to pH, light, and air. It degrades quickly. So if the label lists L-ascorbic acid, the formulation and packaging are critical. However, you'll often see derivatives listed names like ascorbyl tetracylpalmitate or magnesium ascorbyl phosphate. These are generally much more stable forms. They convert to ascorbic acid in the skin. They're often easier to formulate with and tend to be less irritating for some people.
So maybe better for sensitive skin?
Potentially, yes. But regardless of the type, vitamin C works best when it's in a stable formula, protected by packaging, and crucially, paired with sunscreen during the day for maximum antioxidant and photoprotection.
Sunscreen again. Okay, moving on to another heavy hitter, retinoids. Vitamin A derivatives. These are the gold standard for anti-aging, right? Supporting cell turnover, collagen.
They absolutely are. Retinoids are probably the most scientifically validated anti-aging ingredients we have, but they come with really important cautions.
Mature.
Two main things: irritation and photosensitivity. When you start using a retinoid, whether it's over-the-counter retinol or prescription tretinoin, you have to start slow.
How slow?
Use a low concentration, maybe only a couple of times a week at first. Your skin needs time to adapt. There's often an adjustment period, sometimes called retinization, where you might experience dryness, peeling, some redness. You have to push through that gently.
And the photosensitivity part.
Yeah, this is critical. Retinoids make your skin significantly more sensitive to sunlight. So if you're using a retinoid, daily high SPF sunscreen isn't optional, it's mandatory. Otherwise, you could actually be doing more harm than good, increasing your risk of sun damage.
Wow, okay. Diligence is key there. Finally, in this section, let's talk exfoliants. We hear AHAs, BHAs. What's the difference?
Good question. AHAs are alpha hydroxy acids. Think glycolic acid, lactic acid. They're water-soluble, so they work mainly on the surface of the skin, helping to dissolve the glue that holds dead skin cells together. Great for improving texture and brightness.
Surface polishers and BHAs.
BHAs are beta-hydroxy acids. The most common one is salicylic acid. BHAs are oil-soluble. That means they can penetrate into the pores and exfoliate inside the pore lining. That's why they're fantastic for oily skin and dealing with blackheads or congestion.
Okay, so AHAs for surface smoothness, BHAs for getting into pores. Makes sense.
Exactly. But like retinoids, these are powerful ingredients. You must use them carefully. Over-exfoliating can damage your skin barrier.
How you avoid that?
You need to balance them with barrier-supporting ingredients. Things like niacinamide, ceramides, hyaluronic acid in your routine help counteract potential irritation. And a really important tip: don't layer too many strong actives together.
Like, don't use a strong AHA toner, then a BHA serum, then a retinoid, all in the same routine.
Please don't. That's a recipe for irritation and a compromised barrier. Introduce them slowly, maybe use them on alternate nights, and always listen to your skin. And just to connect this back to the industry side for a second, brands formulating these products have to be really careful. They need to verify concentrations against safety data, make sure they meet regulatory limits, which can vary a lot between, say, the US and the EU. Safety first.
Okay, this is all great knowledge, but how do we actually use it when we're standing in the store looking at a wall of products? How do we read that label like an expert?
It starts with looking for transparency. Does the brand actually tell you the percentage of the key active? If they're proud of their 15% vitamin C or 2% salicylic acid, it should ideally be on the label or easily found on their website.
So look for the numbers. What else?
pH, if you can find it. It's not always listed. But for some products, like toners or cleansers, knowing the pH helps you understand if it supports your skin's natural acidity, that 4.5 to 6.5 range we talked about.
Right, protecting the acid mantle.
Yeah.
What about things that might cause reactions? Sensitivities.
This is huge. Fragrance is a really common trigger, and that includes both synthetic fragrances and natural essential oils. Many people react to them. Certain preservatives can also be irritating for some.
So fragrance-free is generally a safer bet for sensitive skin.
Generally, yes. But even then, patch testing is your friend. Seriously, whenever you introduce any new product, put a small amount behind your ear or on your inner arm. Wait 24, maybe even 48 or 72 hours. See if you react before slathering it all over your face.
Good advice. It requires patience, though.
It does, but it can save you a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And this brings us to that whole clean label idea.
Yeah, you mentioned it's confusing.
It really is. The big misconception is thinking clean automatically means safe or hypoallergenic. It doesn't.
How so?
Clean is mostly a marketing term. It usually means a product avoids certain ingredients that are currently unpopular, like parabens or sulfates. But a clean product can still be packed with botanical extracts or essential oils that are potent allergens for some people. Your skin safety depends on proper formulation and testing for irritation and allergy potential, not just whether it fits a retailer's clean list. Don't rely solely on those marketing claims.
Okay, so look past the clean sticker. We also touched on packaging as a sign of stability.
Exactly. Seeing amber glass or an airless pump or even just fully opaque plastic tells you the brand is likely thinking about protecting those light and air-sensitive ingredients inside. It's a clue they're investing in the formula's effectiveness.
And sustainability is part of that label check now, too.
Absolutely. Look for recycling symbols, information about recycled content, check if parts are refillable. Consumers are really driving this demand for more eco-conscious options. Brands know this.
And tying this all together, the claims, the safety, the trends, what's the regulatory reality check?
The reality is that claims need backing. If a product says it's anti-aging or brightening, regulators, especially in stricter markets like the EU and UK, expect brands to have proof, like clinical testing. The US FDA is also increasing its oversight. The key thing for you, the consumer, is that clean beauty specifically is not uniformly regulated. What's considered clean can differ wildly. So rely on brands that are transparent about their testing and ingredients, not just the marketing buzzwords. All right, so we've decoded labels, we understand actives. Now, how do we actually put this knowledge into practice? Build a routine that works. The absolute first step before you even think about products is assessing your skin. What is your type? Dry, oily, combo, sensitive? What are your main concerns? Acne, aging, redness, pigmentation? And do you have any known sensitivities or allergies? You have to start there.
It makes sense. Let's take a common type, dry or sensitive skin. What would a good foundational routine look like?
For dry or sensitive skin, the mantra is gentle, gentle, gentle. Focus on strengthening the skin barrier.
So what does that mean product-wise?
Think mild, creamy, non-foaming cleansers. Look for moisturizers rich in ingredients like ceramides, cholesterol, fatty acids, things that mimic the skin's natural lipids. And, of course, daily sunscreen, preferably a mineral-based one if you're very sensitive.
And actives.
Introduce actives very cautiously. Maybe start with a hydrating serum containing hyaluronic acid or niacinamide. If you want to try something stronger like vitamin C or a very mild retinoid, start with the lowest concentration possible, use it infrequently at first, and buffer it, apply it after your moisturizer to reduce irritation. Consistency with the gentle basics is key here.
Got it. Nurture the barrier. Now what about the opposite end? Oily or acne-prone skin?
Here, the goal is often managing excess oil and preventing breakouts without completely stripping the skin.
Right. You mentioned that rebound oil production earlier.
Exactly. So you might use a gel or light foaming cleanser. Gentle chemical exfoliants are often helpful, especially BHAs like salicylic acid because they get into the pores. Look for lightweight, non-comedogenic moisturizers.
Non-comedogenic. Can you quickly remind us what that means?
Sure. It essentially means the product has been formulated and tested to be unlikely to clog pores. It's not a 100% guarantee for everyone, but it's a very important factor if you're prone to breakouts.
Crucial for oily types, then.
Definitely. And the big warning, again, is don't overdo it. Don't use harsh scrubs or multiple strong exfoliants daily thinking you need to dry everything out. That often just makes acne worse in the long run by causing irritation and that rebound oiliness. Balance is key.
Okay, balance. What about for people whose primary concern is aging?
For anti-aging, there's a kind of widely recognized trifecta of ingredients.
The big three.
Pretty much. It's typically vitamin C in the morning for antioxidant protection, a retinoid in the evening for cellular turnover and collagen building, and consistent high SPF sunscreen every single day. That's the core powerhouse routine.
And patience is important here too, right? You won't see results overnight.
Absolutely not. With actives like retinoids, you need to give them time. Track your progress. Look at texture, brightness, maybe fine lines over at least 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even longer. Before you decide if it's working or if you need to adjust the strength or frequency, don't chop and change too quickly.
Good reminder. So to wrap this section up, can you give us a step-by-step protocol, a kind of decision-making framework for anyone wanting to build or refine their routine?
Sure. Let's break it down into 5 steps.
Assess. Really understand your skin type, your specific goals, and any known sensitivities. Be honest with yourself.
Plan. Start simple. Outline a basic routine cleanser, moisturizer, sunscreen. Maybe one serum targeting your main concern.
Patch test. Always test any new product before applying it fully. 24 to 72 hours.
Introduce slowly. If you're adding actives like retinoids or strong acids, add only one new product at a time. Give your skin at least a week or two to adjust before adding something else.
Reassess. Your skin changes with seasons, stress, age. Periodically check in. Is your routine still working? Do you need to adjust? Keep it dynamic, but rooted in those core principles. #tag outro.
Okay, wow. That was a lot, but incredibly helpful. So, boiling it all down, what have we learned today? We've hopefully cut through some of that marketing noise. We've identified the key product categories, talked about why concentration matters for actives like vitamin C and retinoids, and stressed the importance of formulation stability, transparent packaging, and safety testing.
Yeah, I think the goal is for you to feel more confident navigating this space. That confidence comes from understanding the why behind the products. And it comes from demanding more, from brands demanding that rigorous safety, demanding stable formulas, and demanding clear, honest education, not just hype. Effective skincare really is scientifically sound skincare.
Absolutely. So, as we wrap up, here's a final thought for you, our listener, to mull over. We know personalization is a massive trend. AI analysis, custom mixed serums, it's all becoming more accessible. So consider this. Looking ahead, what do you think will ultimately give you more confidence in your skincare choices? Will it be the continued push for stricter regulations, forcing brands to be more transparent and prove their claims? Or will it be the rise of these hyper-personalized, data-driven routines tailored specifically to your skin's needs at any given moment?
Which path inspires more trust for you? Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive into the world of skincare.